Elon Musk has been quite public about his idea of people living on Mars, but his desire of becoming the first might be jeopardized as a result of Russia's future spaceflight efforts. With Russia's proposal to use nuclear reactors for space travel, could they truly beat Elon Musk to Mars? The globe is changing on a daily basis, and numerous countries are rising from the shadows to declare their determination to be at the forefront of this massive Mars expedition. Russia, the world's largest country, located in Eastern Europe and Northern Asia, officially known as the Russian Federation, has long been a competitor of the United States in such fields as space exploration and accomplishments. Today, we will look at how Russia could be able to defeat Elon Musk and SpaceX. What does Russia have that can compete with the United States' current #1 private business, SpaceX? What impact does this have on the space race? Who is most likely to arrive on Mars first? We know you're thinking all about these things right now, so stay tuned and keep watching as we unveil the answers. The Russia Space Agency, Roscosmos, made a public announcement in 2020 about its ambitions to build the Amur, a two-stage reusable spacecraft whose first stage will return to Earth for vertical powered landings similar to those accomplished by SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets. The Amur does, in fact, show an uncanny similarity to the Falcon 9, right down to the grid fins on the Falcon 9's first stage and the ambition to launch at least 100 times each year. Despite the fact that there are considerable variances. For example, the Amur was far smaller and less powerful than the Falcon 9, towering just 80 feet tall and capable of lifting only 11.5 tons of cargo to LEO, lower Earth orbit. According to SpaceX's rocket spec sheet, the Falcon 9 is 230 feet tall and can transport about 25.1 tons of cargo to lower Earth orbit. According to the Roscosmos statement, the Amur's first stage contained 5 engines, compared to the Falcon 9's 9 engines. The Falcon 9 Merlin engines ran on liquid oxygen and kerosene derived from methane. For many years, the Russian Space Agency has been attempting to construct an incredible rocket that would outperform rivals such as the United States and China. Russia produced a Super Heavy rocket carrier rocket on November 3, 2020, with the goal of being less expensive, more efficient, and more dependable than competitors such as China's and the United States rockets. Dmitry Rogozin, the head of Roscosmos, stated this during a live podcast of the Vesti FM radio station's Full Contact program. "We need to simplify and streamline this launch vehicle. Our vehicle must be more dependable, which means that the statistics of utilizing the engine and other systems that make up this complicated vehicle must persuade all of us that it works and that a spacecraft with humans can be positioned atop this rocket and the mission can be completed. That is why our mission is not just to build a Super Heavy rocket alongside our partner, but also to make it more efficient and safer," Roscosmos chief stated. In an article published on June 9, 2021, Pavel Luzin revealed that Russia has been doing research and development on use of nuclear electricity in outer space. However, this is hardly breaking news. Russia has been pursuing this study since the 1920s. On March 22nd, Alexander Bloshenko, Roscosmos' executive director for advanced projects and science, said that the maiden mission of its nuclear-powered spacecraft, also known as a Transport and Energy Module (TEM), will be in 2030. TASS, May 22nd. A week before this announcement, a Roscosmos subsidiary company, the Keldysh Center, purposefully released material indicating that this nuclear-powered spacecraft may be utilized for military as well as civilian objectives. RIA Novosti, May 13th. This verbal intervention practically coincides with hearings in the United States Congress on the NASA budget proposal, which offers $585 million for nuclear thermal propulsion technology in FY 2022, as well as continued American work on this subject. Space News, May 19th, and Physics Today, May 28th. So what does all this mean? This indicates that Russia's space nuclear power program has both technological and geopolitical objectives. Russia's program now has a Soviet background. From 1969 until 1988, the USSR launched 33 military reconnaissance and targeted spacecraft with nuclear reactions into LEO, lower Earth orbit. The most common thermoelectric nuclear power plant was Buck, while the most recent spacecraft employed sophisticated thermal electron emission NPPs, Topaz, with 4.5 to 5.5 kilowatts of electric power. The Soviet Union also produced nuclear rocket engine prototypes in 1986, but the program was terminated. A Russian-American attempted to create the Topaz reactor gradually in the early 1990s, but it was discontinued in 1995. Russia attempted to collaborate with China on this subject between 2000 and 2007, Kukarkin 2012. Russia proposed a program budget of 17 billion rubles for the period from 2010 to 2018, which was shared between Roscosmos 9.8 billion rubles and Rosatom 7.2 billion rubles, totaling $560 million at 2010 currency rates. During the following decades, the total spending has reached almost 10 billion rubles, or $213 million according to open data on federal budget funds and procurement released by Roscosmos and Rosatom from July 19, 2011 to 2021. The current results of these efforts are less than initially planned. For instance, the original technological requirement approved a space nuclear power system that gives 1 megawatt of electric power and an ion thruster with 50 kilowatts of power, June 26, 2016. However, evidence shows that Russia works on space nuclear power systems Ya-EU-25, Ya-EU-25, and Ya-EU-50 with 10 to 40 kilowatts of electric power, November 3, 2016, and an ion thruster of 25 kilowatts of power, 2021. The nuclear thermal rocket, where the heat from a nuclear reaction, mostly nuclear fusion, replaces the chemical energy of the propellant. Unlike SpaceX's Starship Raptor engines, which are powered by metal ox, cryogenic liquid methane, and LOX, chemical propellant. Along with a major shortfall in other aspects of Russia's space operations and the country's general economic downturn, the Kremlin is looking for an ace under its sleeve as a result of this procedure. While there is still a long way to go in developing nuclear reactors for space adventures or missions, Russian enterprises and government officials are looking into using nuclear power in military satellites. These spacecraft might be utilized for radar reconnaissance as well as electronic warfare. The marketing of nuclear-powered spacecraft for military purposes may be used by Russian spacecraft and nuclear enterprises as a strategy to seek additional government funding to accelerate the sluggish and dangerous project. There are a few things we should be aware of. For one, Russia routinely advocates against the deployment of weapons in space. Second, Russia cannot maintain its position as a premier space power without collaborating with other space countries. The essential characteristics of the Russian Heterogeneous Core (NRE) nuclear rocket engine design are discussed, as well as the most important experimental performance findings. These findings illustrate the NRE's superior specific impulse performance over traditional LRE, liquid rocket engine, propulsion methods. Based on prior experience, current advances in the field of high-temperature nuclear fuels, and the most recent conceptual investigations, it's recommended that the existing NRE idea be improved to a nuclear power and propulsion system, NNPS, which would be better appropriate for future manned Mars missions. Although the NRE needs more improvement for space applications, the difficulties are addressable with further work and funding. The nuclear power and propulsion system is based on the belief that it is faster than any other propulsion method. Elon Musk's goal is to be the first space company to arrive on Mars. While we must applaud SpaceX for the incredible speed with which it has been able to build its spaceship, and all of the numerous tests it's undertaken thus far, with its new remarkable vacuum Raptor engines. The Starship will have 6 Raptor engines, while the Super Heavy will have 36 to 38 vacuum Raptor engines. Due to its unprecedented growth, financing, and testing, the Starship will be ready for the first journey to Mars by 2024. When compared to nuclear-powered rockets, which can travel twice as fast as Starship Raptor engines and perhaps reach Mars in record time, Russia's nuclear thermal rocket will prove to be a major challenge in the space race to Mars. It will be a bullfight between two great nations, as the American SpaceX spaceship might be beaten by Russia's nuclear thermal rocket as they race to Mars in the near future. What are your thoughts on Russia's nuclear thermal rocket? Do you believe that the SpaceX spaceship has a chance against Russia's nuclear thermal rocket? Who do you believe will be the first to reach Mars? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks!